And welcome back to another episode of Casey Campbell's Videocast. Of course, I'm Casey Campbell with Great Lakes Post. And joining me right now is the head coach of the Wisconsin-Milwaukee basketball team, Patrick Baldwin, joining us right now. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I wish it were a little bit more sunny outside, but I'll take it. At least it's not too cold.
Yeah, that is true. Um, Talk about what you've been up to during this pandemic, and how are you making sure that you're connected with your players?
There's been many facets and ways that we've connected with our guys, and obviously you have the normal means of phone, whether you're calling them, and I still think I love that interpersonal connection with them by talking to them on the phone and hearing their voice, and then through text, which is I'm sure they would love and will continue to thrive and use. And the other part of it is Zoom, similar to what we're doing right now, and just connecting through our video screen or using their phone through their video apparatus on their phone. And it's been great being able to connect with our guys this way, even though we can't see each other, because you can, I always talk about body language, all that stuff. I can still see it when I'm talking to them, and however you can, looking everyone in their eyes, but we do this all the time. We meet about 3 or 4 times out of the week, and sometimes it's short, sometimes it's a little bit longer, but it's a great way to stay connected, and it's been great despite going through all of this.
Overall, how do you think your season went for you?
I'm disappointed in our year. I think everybody is. You want to win as much as you possibly can. You prepare as much as you can to put your guys in position to win, and it just didn't happen as much as we thought that we would have. And to be honest with you, I'm probably as competitive as anybody, and you think about every single game that we play, and I've gone through it probably 2 and 3 times, just trying to figure out what areas we can improve and help our guys get better. So it still kills me to this day, that our season didn't go as we wanted. But I still think we had some growth while we went through a difficult season. You look at someone like Tijon Lucas, his growth as a leader. You look at our two young freshmen in Courtney Brown and C.J. Wilburn, their growth as freshmen, and as they come into the league and try to establish their niche in college basketball. So there's a lot of bright things to look forward to, and certainly we're excited about the opportunity next year.
The Horizon League tournament moved this year. What was that like going from Detroit to Indianapolis?
They changed the format of it, and uh, when we went to Detroit, all the teams were there. So you had that great tournament atmosphere and tournament feel. And then this past year, what they did is the higher seeds in our league, they hosted the first, I believe, first 2 rounds, and then those teams that advanced in those first 2 rounds met up with the first and second place team in our league, to form the Final Four of the Horizon League. So it was a little bit different. It's eight. There's some conferences that do that. I'm in favor of having one venue, having all the teams there, and creating that March Madness feel, with everybody there.
How's recruiting been different? I've talked to a lot of college coaches during this time, and they've all said it's different. How different really is it, though?
Well, it's not different from the respect of calling and texting and doing all of that, but our April was wiped out as far as having the opportunity to go out and uh, watch kids at live events. That was one way. It's definitely different. The other area is once your season's done, or even in between, the March Madness and Final Four and all of that. We were able to have kids on campus. We were able to host them unofficially, do some official visits with them as well, and that's where you really get to know them. We subtracted the opportunity to have our guys meet incoming recruits or kids that we have on visits, so that's a little bit different as well in recruiting. And some of the things that you want to do is you want to highlight your campus. You want to highlight the things that go on around your city and different areas, and you're just not able to do that because of COVID-19.
What have you been up to personally? Have you found things to do with this off time?
It was challenging because I'm so fixated on helping our team get better that I predominantly did that. But I definitely tried to find some time for my kids. We set up a gym inside of our garage where we have plyo boxes and Vertimax and ropes and battle ropes and jump ropes, you name it. And we try to do that, and so that was something that we did. And we played a lot of games with my kids, where it's board games or card games, and we just try to keep them as busy as possible. And they know it's different, so we just try to distract them as well as we can.
Yeah. Um, and the thing is, the challenge is, where could we be? Where do you think you could be when do you think possibly you could have recruits back on campus? Where's the timeline on that? When do you think that could possibly happen, or is it just the fear of the unknown, really?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question of when, and I don't think anyone has a great answer. I think everybody's maybe positioning themselves by putting times and dates on when we can come back, but I don't think anybody really knows for sure. And if they did, that would be great, so that we can really, start calculating what we need to do and how we need to do it. But right now it's still up in the air. Even at our school, I'm sure at many schools across the country, that there's no certain time that that anybody's going to be able to get back to normal. And I think everybody's just more concerned about making sure that we're all safe, that no one's in harm's way, and that we come up with a solution to what has obviously been a crisis in the world.
Yeah. All right, Coach. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll look forward to talking to you sometime soon.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on, and be safe and have fun.